Hey, what is up, people? Skywalker Hendrix here, and this is my top 10 Black Series figures of 2023 video, and I'm super excited to get started. I did want to say quick, I do have two honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Merrick here. I do think he was a great fun figure, but with one thing bad about him, which was the paint job. With the paint job being correct, I think he could have easily made this list because he is just a really fun figure. I loved the character in the show, even though he was kind of just a, typical lightsaber wielding bad guy that gets killed off pretty easy. But I thought he was very cool and yeah, just a really, really fun figure. And my second honorable mention here is Cad Bane. He was a fantastic figure, one of my most highly anticipated of the year, but he just didn't quite crack. He would technically be number 11 in my ranking, so he just didn't quite make the top 10, but I did want to include him as an honorable mention. Alright, and with that being said, let's get into number 10. And number 10, I do have the Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary Luke Skywalker here. Just a great update to a figure that we, have been needing for a while now in the line. And yeah, I think they just knocked it out of the park. I think the only thing holding this guy back is the head sculpt, but even at that, it is not a bad likeness in the slightest. I think it gets the job done, and he looks great on the shelf, and definitely just an upgrade that we desperately needed. And for number 9, we do have the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader here. And this figure, I almost didn't want to put him on the list, but he really just does bring me a lot of joy when I look at my shelf. And I did add a custom cape, which I think makes a big difference with this figure. And the legs are absolutely terrible. We desperately need a new sculpt for Vader in the Black Series. But with all that being said, I didn't have as much issues lining up my helmet, but I display him like this because it just looks so good in my opinion. And yeah, just when I look at my shelf, this guy stands out and he looks great, so that's why he is number 9 for me. And in the number 8 spot, we do have Black Chrysanthemum here, and he was just a super fun figure to get, and the paintwork I think is incredible on him. And although the articulation is not very posable, I think it gets the job done for the size of this character and the poses that you would need to get out of him. And I just, super amazing figure, new sculpt, all that fun stuff, and just a character that we needed, especially after the Book of Boba Fett show and him showing up in live action. And again, this was just one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and he definitely lived up to the hype, and that is why he is number 8. And in the number 7 spot, we do have Ezra Bridger, which this did come in a Ahsoka box, but we all really know this is a season 3 to 4 Ezra. You can slap him on that Rebels shelf and he will not be out of place at all. This is pretty much identical to that outfit, so we really only saw it in a brief hologram in the Ahsoka show, so I would call this a Rebels figure. And yeah, it's just fantastic. It's a look that I've been wanting forever. I never picked up the old Rebels figures because I just wanted these later season looks, and I'm so happy I waited, and he was definitely worth the wait. So yeah, that is why Ezra made number 7. Alright, and in the number 6 spot, we do have Wicket. And although he is a small figure, I think the paint applications and the articulation they packed into this guy just look so good. I mean, those eyes, everything. he looks like he is shrunk down and put on your shelf, and that is just really honestly why I collect. And I love just looking at my shelf, and it literally looks like you took something off the screen and put it on my shelf, and that is just so cool in my opinion. So that is why Wicket is number 6. And at number 5, we do have the amazing Darth Malgus. Now, why this guy is not higher on my list is just based solely that I have no personal connection to this character. Other than that, a lot of people have this guy as number 1 of the year, and I can definitely see that, but I just think the figures I have above him, just in my opinion, I liked a little bit more, and, obviously this is best of the year, so this guy is still just very amazing in my opinion, and, top 5 of 2023, so just a big character, a cool Sith, amazing head sculpt, amazing soft goods, which is rare for me to say because I really don't care for soft goods all too much. But just amazing sculpt work, everything, size, articulation is absolutely amazing as well. And just overall look of the character is so cool. And even though I have, no real connection other than watching the cinematics a few times and being like, oh, that's a cool character design, no connection to this character, but I still immediately had to get him because he just looked so amazing. So that is why Malgus is number 5 on my list. Alright, and at number 4 we do have Sabine Wren from the Ahsoka show, and this figure just blew me away when I opened her. Just so much fun to pose. I don't know, I really was not expecting to really go crazy over this figure, but and after rewatching the Ahsoka show, it was just such a good show, and bringing these characters into live action after being in Rebels was just a real treat and just absolutely fantastic in my opinion. So that is why Sabine made number 4. Alright, and number 3, we're getting close, guys. The top 3, and at number 3 is the Clone Wars Ahsoka. Y'all knew this figure would definitely make my top 5. Just a super fun figure, a costume design we've been needing for a while now, and they just absolutely delivered. The likeness is insane, even though it's an animated character. They just brought it to life, and articulation, everything, just absolutely amazing, and just a fantastic figure to add to the Clone Wars display. And just can't say enough great things about this figure, and really hope to see more and more Clone Wars and prequel representation coming in 2024. So that is why Ahsoka, the Clone Wars version, made my top 10 list, and that is why she is number 3. Alright, and number 2 for 2023 is the all-white Clone Trooper. This figure was long overdue, and Hasbro decided to update the 2020 mold, and honestly, it might be one of the best figures in the line. Honestly, it's probably the second best figure in the line, if you asked me. It is just, the updates to it were amazing, with the bicep swivel, the unglued knee pads, the O-ring shoulder pads, the face sculpt that is actually underneath and you can take the helmet off. Just the overlay on the chest, it is just absolutely fantastic, and I think this is the ultimate clone mold, as now they can make ARC Trooper overlays, they can make Commander overlays, and all they have to do is pop those new overlays on, pop a new helmet on, and do the paint decals. You know, it's the ultimate reuse figure, in my opinion, especially for the Clone Army. They did it originally kind of with the Stormtrooper back in 2020, but they did not apply those same improvements to the clone body until now, so it is just the perfect clone mold in my opinion, and that is why he is number 2 for 2023. But as you can see, there is always a number 1, and he snuck in at the last minute for the 2023 roster, I guess, and that is the Mandalorian. And this guy blew me away. This guy might be the best Black Series figure of all time. Perfect. I mean, he is absolutely amazing. He smokes both the Mafex and the SH Figure Arts, blows them out of the water, in my opinion. Just an amazing figure. And yeah, Hasbro just really knew what they were doing here and really just perfected a figure 100%, just like I was saying with the new Clone Trooper, where they pretty much perfected that mold. Yeah, they nailed this one, and it is just such a fun figure, and he really is just, yeah, really just a showcase of what Hasbro can do when they put 110% effort in, and it shows. And, you know, for Hasbro, it kind of is one of those things where I'm kind of expecting this from here on out. You know, if this is what you guys can do for a retail figure, you know, I get there's budgets and everything, but you know, this is the new standard. These top 5 figures here are the new standard. Really, this top 10 list in general is just so stacked, and just the year in general has just been so amazing. So yeah, I mean, just so cool, so cool. So that is why the Mandalorian is number 1. Alright, so that is it for my top 10 Black Series figures of 2023. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of my picks. And I did just want to give a big shout out to the new R2-D2 Astromech mold. It just didn't quite get my top 10, and by the time I thought of it, I had already talked about my honorable mentions. But I just did want to give a shout out to that because, yeah, stuff like that we need to let Hasbro know when they do great jobs on updating existing figures, because there's a lot that need to be done, and I will be making some list videos here coming in the new year on figures we need, figures we need remade, all sorts of stuff like that. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, do all that fun stuff. And if you subscribe, you can definitely go down to my giveaway video and enter in my giveaway. I'm giving away 2 Hot Toys, a SH Figure Arts Anakin, and a bunch of Black Series figures. So make sure to go enter in that. And yeah, let me know what your guys' top 10 for the year is down in the comments. Thank you all for watching. You guys have been absolutely fantastic this year. My channel has really just been doing amazing numbers. You guys have been killing it. I love each and every one of you. Go enter in that giveaway so I can give back to the community. And let's get to 1K. I love you all. May the Force be with you. Ayy.